Break from your shopping and join us here at the Siegel Center for some college basketball action. An in-state rivalry that has not taken place since 1998. VCU and Norfolk State here on MASN and on ESPN+. Great to have you with us courtside here at the Stew. I'm Sean Robertson. Great to be back with Ed Nixon, a member of the 2011 Final Four team. As I mentioned, two in-state rivals that have not met in a quarter century, and two teams coming off of big wins.
Absolutely. Norfolk State's coming in here with a big chip on their shoulder. Haven't played VCU in a while. They're going to look to get this win. VCU has to protect this house and really show who's in charge in Virginia. And
the two players to watch for both teams coming off a great performance is the last time they hit the floor.
Yes, the player to watch for Norfolk State, Jamari Thomas. He's averaging 18 points per game. He's the leader of this team. He's a quick, athletic guard, loves to attack the paint, but he also can get it going from three. So I would love to see how VCU can handle and maybe control his impact on the game. So if they want to have success, it starts with Jamari Thomas. So now for VCU, the player to watch, Alfonso Fats Billups. He's coming off a career-high 23 points against his former coach of Penn State. Fats is a long, lanky guard. He can really score from all areas on the floor. However, last game was his first time scoring over 20 points. VCU hopes that he can continue that and build on that moving forward in today's game.
And for our keys to the game, we first start with Norfolk State.
So for Norfolk State, the keys to the game, rebounding. VCU has long, athletic forwards, really everybody. They want to crash the boards, and next is pick and roll defense. If you want to win, you got to control that area of the floor. So now, the keys to the game for VCU, half-court defense. Norfolk State has a plethora of guards who can really score from everywhere. And also they have to match and surpass the intensity that Norfolk State is going to bring into this game if they want to be successful.
Seventh all-time meeting between VCU and Norfolk State. The Rams have won 5 of the previous 6. Starting lineups in the opening tip coming up next on MASN and on ESPN+.
On his side, and I wanted that person to be me.
He's not an attorney for me. He's my homeboy.
We're here at the Siegel Center for VCU basketball as they're taking on the Spartans of Norfolk State. First meeting between these two in-state programs since 1998. Here's a look at the Norfolk State starting lineup. Christian Inge, Jamari Thomas, also Mading, Terrell Blayton, and also Jelani Darden, the team's leading rebounder for VCU. They're starting 5, Shoga and Jackson in the backcourt, Kwani and Bell up front with Christian Furman. The officials, Roger Ayers, Tony Henderson, and Clarence Armstrong. And the toss controlled by VCU.
Now let's see how VCU starts this game. We know they have a hard time starting out quickly. Let's see what they can change that up tonight.
Shoga had a big weekend down in Orlando during the Thanksgiving break. And the rebound squeezed in by Norfolk State. Kuel Mading picks up the first board.
I tell you what, Norfolk State is really looking aggressive on the defensive end early on. They're trying to shoot the gaps. VCU's going to have to take care of the ball and be careful of that.
Thomas, the team's leading scorer, with it against Zeb Jackson. Shot clock is under 10. Thomas falling away and giving the Spartans their first 2. The junior from out of Greensboro by way of UNC Wilmington gives the Spartans their first lead. Shoga accelerates and finds Kwani. Jackson finds Kwani on the baseline. To Bell in the lane.
And it's really good to see Kwani. I thought he was going to show a little bit of tentativeness because he has been shooting the ball well from 3, but it's good to see him catch the ball, do something different, and create a shot for his teammate.
Played a season out 38 minutes in the win against Penn State on Sunday. Speaking of Bell. Shot clock is at 5 for Inge. Little give and go to Blayton. Rebound tip back to Jackson. Here's Bell in transition. Finds Kwani left open for 3.
Ooh.
And out of bounds to Norfolk State. That's a good look there by Kwani.
And he stepped into it with confidence and took it. However, it didn't fall. Now, I believe he's 0 for 14 from 3 now. But he's a really good shooter.
I was going to say, he shot the ball extremely well while he was at Cal from 3-point range.
And I think the issue is he did have shoulder surgery over the off season, and he's just trying to recover.
Thomas's second shot went halfway in and came out for Bell to pick it up for VCU. Tied at 2, and they leave Jackson open, but then finds Bell. Good hands by Norfolk State. Bell recovers it for Jackson. Jackson had a big weekend as well down in Orlando at the ESPN Invitational as Bell turns it over.
I would love for Bell. Bell does a really good job of getting in the paint, first and foremost. But I would love for him to look for his shot a little bit more. Sometimes he gets into the paint and he's so focused on passing he doesn't even look at the goal. And he's a 6'8", big-body freshman. I think he has the ability to score over the top of some of his defenders.
Has a size advantage over Inge, who is he guarding now in Norfolk State's front court. And has it right now. Here's Inge. Nice creativity to Mading for 3. And Inge grabs an offensive rebound. And then strokes the 3. Bell the rebound. And that was something that Coach Jones mentioned to us last night when we spoke to him about guards getting rebounds as Shulga points up the 3 and buries it.
Absolutely. And like I said, Norfolk State comes in here with a chip on their shoulder. They're going to bring a lot of energy. And what you don't want to do is give them second chance opportunities. Because if they get going, they're going to believe in themselves so much that it's going to turn this into a dogfight.
Sugar came in shooting 40% from 3 this season, gives the Rams their first lead at 5-2. Darden down the lane and scores over Kwani.
Great offensive possession for Norfolk State. Good touch and finish over the taller defender.
Darden, the transfer from Longwood, cuts the lead to 1. Bell got hit and draws a foul.
An example. Bell gets into the paint right there. I want him to go to try to dunk that or make a play for himself.
First team foul as VCU will inbound it on the baseline. That foul went to Jamari Thomas, team's leading scorer at 18 points a game, third team all MEAC selection. And the MEAC's leading scorer coming into tonight is Toby Lawal will check in to replace Kwani. Here's Shulga. Looks inside. The pass taken away by Norfolk State. Looking to run. Inge going up against Bell and scores off the window.
Great finish right there. Nice soft touch off the kiss.
Inge averaging 8 points per game this season. All MEAC first team preseason selection. The transfer from Ryder, one of 3 players on the Norfolk State roster that transferred from Ryder in the offseason. Here's Shulga drawing the foul and almost had a chance at a 3-point play. Mading is called for the foul, his first. And that brings us to our first media timeout. 15:46 to go in the first half. And VCU trailing by 1. Glad you could join us on MASN and on ESPN Plus for an in-state rivalry. VCU and Norfolk State. There's a good look at Ryan Odom. First year at VCU, but great stops at Utah State and, of course, at Maryland, Baltimore County, where he made history in 2018. There's that one tournament win. And there is Coach Jones, Robert Jones, the head coach at Norfolk State in his now 11th season with the Spartans, 193 career victories with the Spartans. He's made a couple of trips to the NCAA tournament and picked up a tournament win a couple of years ago in that first 4 game with Norfolk State as Shulga connects on the first of 2 free throws.
And I can imagine Coach Jones having so much success. Just talking on the phone with him, he's a very good communicator, and you can tell he has a coaching chip on his shoulder, and I know he's putting that battery in the back of his players as well. So I can imagine the success he has because he's such a good communicator and translator of his energy.
Him being a straight shooter, he tells the players exactly what he wants to see from them, and I think they embrace that.
Absolutely.
And talking to him last night, you got the feeling that's why some of those transfer players made the trip, say, hey, look, we want Norfolk State now to be a destination for those, as Thomas draws the foul against VCU, and Zep Jackson picks up his first.
And great job by Norfolk State attacking these picks. They're really coming off these screens really hard, coming downhill. Now, VCU has to make the adjustment to make them go east and west instead of north and south.
Thomas's name is up and down the early record books in the MEAC right now. I mentioned 13, came in 13 preseason on MEAC. This season, he is the conference's leading scorer. He's number 1 in total steals and steals per game. He's first in total free throws attempted and made this season. He's now 51 of 59, now 52 of 60 from the stripe this season, and has given Norfolk State a 1-point lead. That's the wrong guy to foul.
Absolutely.
Late in the game. He's at 86% and rising after making those 2 free throws. Nice give and go inside to Furman, who got hammered inside. But a great 2-man game working by VCU with Furman and Shoga.
Absolutely. I think Furman's next step is going to be getting the ball and really gathering himself and punishing the rim. Once he adds that to his game, he is going to be a tremendously good player, and he's going to be very hard to guard, especially when you have guards like Zev Jackson and Max passing him the ball.
Inge picked up his first, as Norfolk State now has 3 team fouls. That's Furman's first point in the last 3 games. He was on scoreless against Penn State and Boise State in the ESPN Invitational in Orlando. But he's coming into his own. He had that big double-double against Sanford in early November as he hits both. Didn't play a lot last season, but he's thrust into a new role now. A lot of these guys are now thrust into new roles. Furman is one of them, and it seemed like he has been playing pretty well for him.
Absolutely. And, you know, Furman, he's basically a freshman this year.
Yeah.
Even though he's listed as a sophomore, he's basically a freshman. He played just enough that he couldn't be redshirted, but he's learning on the go right now, along with a lot of other guys as well. But he is one of those guys who doesn't have a lot of playing experience, and he's learning. He's going to have these droughts, but as long as he continues to do the right thing, I think he'll be fine.
Same thing can be said about Fats Phillips, who checked in. Remember, he missed most of last season with a broken thumb. He only appeared in 8 games, so this is basically his freshman year as well. Shot clock is under 5 for Thomas to hoist up a 3, and Phillips yanks the board down for the Rams, who lead by 1 early on. Phillips shooting for 3. Ring it up.
He's alive, ladies and gentlemen. He's alive.
And he's got a lot of his former Verona teammates. His former head coach is in attendance here tonight, seeing him stroke that 3 to give VCU a 4-point lead. Coming off a career-high 23-point performance against Penn State last Sunday.
When you look at Fats Phillips, his frame, his skill set, you really can see all the potential that is there for him.
Here's Betran.
Great defense by Zev Jackson. Great
call for travel.
Defense.
And look at the stroke there. Very confident stroke. Caught it in rhythm, almost like Ed Nexon used to do. Saying, I'm hot. I'm hot. He is.
Norfolk State better get a fan. Cool him off.
Remember, he had 5 3-pointers. He was 5 of 6 from 3 on Sunday against Penn State. Another 2-man game for Toby Lawal, who racks the rim for his first basket.
And you know what his name is. Toby Wan Kenobi, because he's a Skywalker. Great pass by Fats Phillips, though.
And good defense in the backcourt by Shoga. Darden took a long time to get that ball across. Here is Muding being double-teamed by Phillips and had his shot partially blocked. Shoga grabs the miss. VCU looking to run. Here's Phillips. Muding got back on D, or else he was going to hoist up another 3.
He was going to let it go. He looked like he really wanted to let it go. Great decision by not, though.
Jackson will set it up. Coming up on 10 to shoot for VCU. Draws contact on Thomas, no whistle. Darden the miss, the rebound for Norfolk State. VCU up by 6 in the midst of a 7-0 run. Betran draws a foul. It's either going to be on Billups or Lawal, and it's going to be on Billups.
Great job, Norfolk State, taking advantage of VCU's miscommunication and transition, being patient, finding the right open man, making the right decision to drive and get to the free throw line.
And Billups had a pretty good decision there with that no-look pass to Toby Lawal, showing off that 49.5-inch vertical leap.
You know, he has the pass to get the VIP, the upper room VIP. Not everybody has that pass.
I want to ask Toby if I could be a member of that, but I don't think I can. At my age, those hops are long gone.
Yeah, the knees are gone now.
Gone.
The knees, ankles gone.
To be young like Toby, I would show that off every chance I got.
I need to go to France with LeBron. Do what LeBron doing.
B-Tran hits both free throws. He's a transfer from Rhode Island and Ryder. He's played against VCU as a member of Rhode Island a couple of years ago when Rhode Island came here during the COVID year and defeated VCU. He had a big game at 13 points in that meeting. Jason Nelson was wondering if he was going to play tonight. He's in the lineup. Here's Lawal, lost the ball in the air. Spartans get it.
Rhode Island used to have VCU's number for a while.
They did. Jeremy Shepard, who used to play his high school ball here in the area at John Marshall. Here's Thomas accelerating down the lane, and the tip-in is good by Nazir Chambers, a transfer from Hillcrest Prep by way of Oscar Smith High School. His first basket has pulled Norfolk State to within 2. Missed 3 by VCU. Loose ball picked up by Norfolk State. Meding has it, and the Spartans with a 3 can retake the lead.
Good move.
Meding from straight away. And Billups the rebound. VCU in a scoring drought of over 2 minutes.
And VCU's getting decent opportunities to score. However, they're just not taking advantage of it, being strong with the ball.
Shoga trying to create, but a foul happened on the floor. So that shot would not have counted. But another foul on Norfolk State. And we will take a break as well with 11-17 in the first half. VCU up by 2. Happy holidays to you and yours from the Siegel Center here in the capital city. 11-17 in the first half with VCU leading by 2 over Norfolk State. Sean Robertson along with Ed Nixon, a member of the 2011 Final Four team, and our entire Ram Unlimited crew. The month of December is here, and I know for coaches, and I would assume for players as well, when you get past final exams, it's almost like another season because your focus, your singular focus is at that point playing and also practicing.
Let me tell you how much I hate the month of December.
Oh, wow.
Hey, listen, when everybody leaves and they go on their vacation, they having fun, they eating turkey, drinking eggnog, having a blast, we have 2-a-days.
Used to have 2-a-days.
Used to
with
have
Shock and crew.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that.
But look what it got y'all.
Yeah.
At the end. Here's Sugar down low and scores.
Sugar, Max, Sugar.
Sugar. He's got now 7 in the first half to lead all scores, and VCU back up by 4. Here's B-Tran with a nice move on the wall, who had it taken back. Nelson picks up the loose ball. Racing past B-Tran.
I tell you what, that ticket to the upper room, not everybody has it.
One of the top shot blockers in the A-10 this year is Toby.
B-Tran got the nod to the VIP.
Here's Lawal inside. Tried to fight for his own rebound, and Tyrese Jenkins, who played his high school ball at Verona as well, grabbed the rebound.
Good defense.
Three-pointer blocked. Daryl Anderson's shot was blocked by Fats Billups, and here's Bell. And he's fouled by Anderson.
I tell you what, Fats Billups is doing a really good job of contesting shots. Against Penn State, he had 3 blocks, didn't even know that. And if he can add that to his game, that's going to be something very beneficial for VCU. Another thing I'd like to mention is Michael Bell with the ball in his hand is going to be special. He's going to get comfortable. He's going to gain confidence. He's already a willing passer. I won't be surprised if next year you might see him running some 1.
He is not your prototypical freshman. Standing 6'7", he does not have the body type of a first-year player that will be playing in the A-10 this season. Multiple lineup changes for both teams to include Roosevelt Wheeler in for the first time for the Rams with 10 to shoot. Here is Nelson going down the lane, and Jenkins the rebound. Thomas looking to run for Norfolk State as they trail by 4. Nice feed inside the Chambers. Bell back tapped it to himself for the board.
Chambers has to finish that one. Slightly contested, however, it was a clean enough look to finish.
You asked for him to run the one. Look like he's going to do that on this possession against Jenkins. Here is Billups, the head fake, and shoots for 3. Wheeler had the rebound and tipped it to Billups, who looks aside to Wheeler. Had it stripped away by Betran for Norfolk State, looking to run.
Good defense by Norfolk State. However, Wheeler has to also realize once you put that ball down, you're bringing it to the tiny guys. And they're going to scrap at it.
Alan Betran, another transfer from Ryder, scores to pull the Spartans to within 2. Here's Nelson guarded by Thomas. Shot clock is at 10. The switch defensively by the Spartans. Nelson, now a late whistle. No basket, a late whistle, and offensive foul will be assessed to Fats.
Whether or not it's a foul or not, the fans and the players do not like a late whistle. The late whistle throws off everything, so the referee's going to hear it.
I mean, Nelson took an extra step to reset his shooting motion, then the whistle occurred, and Fats Billups now has 2 and will have to take a seat. Shoga immediately back in for VCU. Jackson, Nelson, Wheeler, and Bell on the floor for the Rams. And now another whistle. Wheeler picks up the foul for VCU.
Darter doing a great job, just like all the other guards from Nova State, really attacking the screens, picking up the foul. They're trying to turn the corner and get downhill.
That was something Coach Jones mentioned to us. They wanted to attack the post players of VCU, especially the fact that they don't have a lot of players. They're not deep. Here's Jackson, left uncontested and missed it. Darden the rebound. Spartans again with a chance to take the lead. Betran will tie it up. Checking that's Inge with the basket. Christian Inge, who has tied it up to 16.
Zev Jackson wasn't expecting to be that open.
Because he really will miss that. Nice pass inside to Wheeler, who doesn't get the roll. Norfolk State clears with a chance to retake the lead. Inge running the point, the grad transfer from Philadelphia. Betran against Nelson with 10 to shoot.
You got it. I was just about to say, Betran has a really good pull-up.
And the offensive rebound and putback by Tyrell Bladen to give Norfolk State the lead.
Wheeler just got bullied right there. And the coaching staff, Coach Odom, see it in his face. He did not like that.
Bladen, the third transfer from Ryder, who we've talked about in this half, contributing for Norfolk State, who are up by 2. Shot clock at 10 for VCU. Nelson feeling the double. Here is Bell in the lane. And Bladen had it, fought for it, still loose, and Darden secures it.
And I actually like that shot attempt. However, you just got to finish it. You have to finish those opportunities.
Darden is Norfolk State's leading rebounder, and Christian Inge up high and with authority to give Norfolk State a 4-point lead, and Coach Odom uses a timeout.
Little man got up and put the cherry on top.
Norfolk
State of financial success.
We got you.
Untraditional.
There's a good look at the VCU huddle right now as Coach Ryan Odom had to use a timeout as Christian Inge has given Norfolk State a boost with that dunk right before the break. And They lead 20-16 with 6 1/4 left in the first half. Your VCU right now, you had control of this first half a little bit, but then Norfolk State goes on a 12-2 run over the last 6+ minutes. What has to change for the Rams?
Well, first and foremost, the Rams have to guard the paint. Norfolk State has 16 points in the paint as of right now. And you would think after the disappointing loss to Iowa State, where they scored 42 points in the paint, that they would have plugged that home. However, they have to figure out a way to do so. Maybe they blitz the screens, because a lot of Norfolk State's action in their penetration is coming off either some type of screen action, in just denied range, wide open to the basket. Thomas did a really good job being patient, creating opportunities for others. So, if I'm VCU, that's the number one thing, all the minutes.
And the big stat that we noticed when we were coming back from break, 16-6 points in the paint in favor of Norfolk State. No outside or perimeter shots scored by the Spartans here in the first half. The double on Shulga and throws it away.
Good pesky defense from Norfolk State right there, forcing the turnover.
The Rams' 6th turnover of the half. Norfolk State with just 1 turnover so far as they lead by 4. Norfolk State shooting just 38% in the first half, but are holding VCU to 5 of 15 shooting. Darden for 3. Jackson the weak side board. Rams are 1 for their last 9 from the field and has not scored a point in over 5 minutes.
You get the feeling like they're getting good shots. They're just not executing well on the defensive end.
Jackson for 3. Offensive rebound to Bell. And here's Jackson again down the lane and scores off the window. His first basket of the game pulls VCU to within 2. Team's second leading scorer on the year at almost 15 a night. Here's Jenkins in the corner. A little short on the 3, and Furman, who's back in, grabs the board. Rams can tie or take the lead with the 3. Inside to Furman, who ties it up.
Great hook off and pass by Zeb Jackson. Great hands by Furman by catching the finish.
Jackson's second on the team in assists. Has his second of the night. Furman with 4. And inside and scoring for Norfolk State is Jamari Thomas, averaging 18 points a game this season. Gives the Spartans the lead again by 2. And a foul inside. Inge will get called for.
And BC's doing a really good job of trying to feed the bigs as they come off the screen and go to the basket. I'm looking forward to the bigs actually, they have to come and meet that basketball. Norfolk State is so pesky, and they have these active hands where they can get deflections, get steals, and get off in transition. That could be bad news for VCU.
Rams down by 2 as Bell got the inbound. Furman, Shulga, Jackson, and Nelson on the floor for VCU with 10 to shoot. Jackson hounded by Blayton with now 5 to shoot. Shulga lost it in the lane, got it back with 1, has to hoist it up, hit the rim. Bell the offensive rebound. Here's Shulga, had his shot blocked by Blayton and out of bounds to VCU. That length there by Blayton, 6'10". Probably got about a 7'3", 7'4" wingspan out there on the perimeter.
Absolutely. And I just love the effort from both teams, fighting so hard for that board.
Nelson snuck in the lane, leaves it for Jackson for 3. And the long rebound to Norfolk State. Betran picks it up. Thomas gives to Darden for 3 and gets the bounce from the corner.
Great penetration and kick by Norfolk State. Making the defense collapse, kicking out to the wide open shooter.
Only Darden's 6th made three-pointer this season, but it gives Norfolk State a 5-point lead. Rams in a drought, 2 of their last 12 from the field. Long 3 by Shulga, and a long rebound by Darton. And right now, this is the pace that Norfolk State wants.
Absolutely, and they're doing a great job of clogging the paint for VCU. They can't get into the paint, get all the way to the cup, and they're taking the time on the offensive end, knocking it down.
Knocked out last by Norfolk State. It will go to VCU as we come up on our last media timeout. The Spartans with a 5-point lead on the road at VCU.
Better Menswear is a proud supporter of VCU basketball.
2:55 left in the first half, and Norfolk State with a 5-point lead over VCU, who are in a scoring drought of over 2 minutes. And right now, and Nick said somebody's got to put the ball in the basket for the Rams. They're 2 of their last 13 from the field.
And you know, like I said before, they're getting good shots. They're getting good shots. They're getting into the paint, taking it out. However, they're just not knocking them down. And that's something that, you know, you just got to continue to stick with it. And hopefully the next one falls. Don't be discouraged. Don't let your defense be impacted by that. Because if you do, Norfolk State will end this half up 10 or 11 points.
And we've heard that a lot, especially from Coach Odom. It can't spill over on the defensive end. Jackson, Shulga, Furman, Bell, and Toby Lawal back in for the Rams. Chambers, Thomas, along with Muding, and Darden on the floor. Shot clock is at 5, along with Betran for Norfolk State. And VCU won't get it off in time. Shot clock violation off a timeout.
And you don't want that off a timeout. However, you got to give credit to Norfolk State. They're playing extremely hard. Now, granted, if Zeb Jackson doesn't bobble that or get tipped, maybe Max has an open shot. However, credit to Norfolk State.
Big defensive stand right after the timeout, the media timeout. Spartans up by 5 and with the ball. Betran guarded by Bell with the 1-foot step back and the rebound to Furman.
Bell does such a good job on the defensive end. Betran can definitely hit that shot. However, he wasn't comfortable taking it. And that seems to have the same impact no matter who he's guarding. And that's impressive for a freshman.
Here is Shulga trying to create. Bodies crashing the glass. And squeezing the rebound is Jamari Thomas. Thomas with a little stutter step. Deflected by Shulga. Betran gives to Dart. Thomas with the mismatch on Bell. And the rebound on the wall. Coming up on a minute and a half in this, actually under a minute and a half. And VCU down by 5. Scoring drought of over 3.5 minutes for VCU, yet they're still in it, only down 5.
And VCU, I know they prefer to have this drought now opposed to later in the game, but they're getting good shots outside of that one.
Tough shot there by Jackson. Offensive rebound by Furman. Here's Jackson. Bell gets it back. No reset of the shot clock as we're inside 45 seconds. Under 10 to shoot for the Rams. Shulga for 3. Betran the rebound. They could go 2 for 1 here. 3 on 3 for Betran, who draws a foul.
And I didn't necessarily like that shot from Max at that point in time. You get the offensive rebound. However, I know you haven't been scoring out of your half-court sets. Still, run some offense. See if you can get a better shot. I think VCU's doing a good job of getting in the paint. Just, however, active hands from Norfolk State is giving them a hard time when they're trying to kick it out.
Shulga called for the foul, his first. That is the team's 5th. And at the line is Alan Betran. I mentioned he played against VCU during the 2020-21 season. That was the COVID year. Scored 13 points in the win against VCU that day here at the Siegel Center.
What an awkward time in history. College sports, 20 people.
Yeah, it was 250 people was the cap here at the Stew. And this was basically a bubble. Nobody outside the players, coaches, administrative staff, and officials were around here as B-Trans splits the pair. And if you wanted to shoot highlights, you basically were in the stands behind us. That was basically chopped off to a certain degree. And the photographers were able to shoot in the stands. Could not be on the baseline at that point. But things have changed in the past couple of years, and we got a sold-out house here at the Stew as we're under 20 seconds, and VCU trailing by 6.
And I wonder what play they're going to draw up, who they're going to draw it up for.
They drew it up for Jackson for 3, ring it up.
How about Zeb Jackson sticking with it, missing his first 2 threes and knocking this one down.
Here's Thomas getting one off and almost got it to go. First half ends with VCU breaking their scoring drought and getting momentum on their side as Norfolk State leads by 3 at the break. First half highlights and particulars coming up on the other side on MASN and also on ESPN Plus.
On ESPN Plus.
Halftime here at the Siegel Center with Norfolk State leading 26-23. Right now they are honoring the 2023 indoor track and field team, the women's indoor track and field team for winning the A-10 Conference Championship. As we're looking at some first half highlights, and it started by Michael Bell being very aggressive on the offensive end. He had 7 rebounds in the first 20 minutes.
Absolutely. I think VCU did a very good job starting out this game, running the offense, being patient, finding the open man. Pass Phillips knocking down a 3 right there. However, then it just changed. I don't think Norfolk State did anything differently on the defensive end. However, VCU just couldn't buy a bucket, and Norfolk State took advantage of that.
Pass Phillips didn't see a lot of time in the first half as he was hampered by 2 early fouls. Toby LaWall showing his hops. But Norfolk State stayed with it. B-Tran and Inge, along with Jamari Thomas, the team's leading scorer, doing some things in the green and gold.
Absolutely. Getting out in transition, being patient, attacking the pick and rolls with intent to drive and create for others. And look at this slam here. Boom! On his head. And that's the kind of aggressiveness that they play with. That if I can put Norfolk State in one place, it would be that play there. Just aggression and velocity and intensity.
But a big 3 at the end of the first half by Zeb Jackson has pulled VCU to within 3 as he has 5 in the first 20 minutes. Halftime here at the Siegel Center with VCU trailing by 3, 26-23. We'll have more halftime activities from the Siegel Center right after this on MASN and on ESPN Plus.
Warranties in the business. Join the VCU Rams and choose Renewal by Anderson of Central Virginia for your home team today.
Halftime here at the Siegel Center with VCU trailing by 3, 26-23 to Norfolk State. First meeting between these two since 1998 when VCU won 104-94 in that meeting. And we look at the first half particulars, and right now one telling stat has been 3-point shooting. VCU 3 of 13, Norfolk State just 1 of 10, yet lead by 3.
Yeah, they haven't been able to hit the range. However, what they have been doing well is getting into the paint. 18 of their points coming from the paint. And like I said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. However, if I'm VCU, something has to stop.
Right now leading the way for Norfolk State, Christian Inge and Jamari Thomas, both with 6 points. Thomas, who has attempted the most field goals on the team, has taken 7 shots in the first half to get those 6 points. Leading all scorers is Max Shoga. He's scored 7 in the first 20 minutes, but 1 of 6 from 3 and just 2 of 9 from the field.
Yeah, you love his aggressiveness. However, some of the shots I wish he wouldn't have taken. He could have passed up, got a better shot. But Max is an experienced player, and I imagine the second half he's going to come out and do things a little bit different.
Zeb Jackson right behind Shoga with 5 points on 2 of 7 shooting, and Michael Bell leading all players with 7 rebounds in the first half, 5 on the defensive end. Right now we got a 3-point game with Norfolk State leading VCU. More halftime activities from the Stew where the Spartans up 26-23. You're watching VCU basketball on MASN and on ESPN Plus. Halftime activities here at the Siegel Center with VCU leading 26-23. A light A-10 schedule tonight. Not too many other teams in the conference playing each other, with the exception of GW playing in a tournament down in South Carolina, and the Revolutionaries with a 10-point lead over South Carolina. But then a ton of A-10 action on Saturday, to include another in-state rivalry, Richmond and William & Mary, that'll take place at the Robinson.
Richmond and William & Mary will be the smartest basketball you'll see. It'll be the smartest basketball you'll see in years.
But earlier this week, A-10 stepping up, winning some games against non-conference opponents, to include that St. Joe's game, winning at Villanova, St. Louis winning another earlier this week. So some interesting matchups. Grambling going to Dayton, Wright State and Davidson. So A-10, hey, remember last year they only got one team in. Maybe that'll change this year. This is the start of a road trip for Norfolk State, as they will go to Illinois State on Saturday, next Saturday, and then a trip to Stony Brook and Hofstra for a tournament against UTEP, and a team to be determined right around Christmas. And then a big one, we see Tennessee on their schedule on January 2nd, as they won't really return home to Joe Eccles until January 15th, when they play Virginia University of Lynchburg. Lynchburg, yes. And then for VCU, we were talking about this homestand. This is the start of an 8-game homestand for VCU that continues with that big one next Wednesday, as Penny Hardaway and Memphis come here to the Siegel Center. That's the back end of a home-and-home trip. Then some games against Alcorn State, a game against Temple, a former A-10 rival. Then Maryland Eastern Shore, another MEAC opponent, and then Gardner Will wrap up conference play right before New Year's, and then conference play begins with two home games, St. Bonaventure and GW, to begin the new year. They don't leave the state until January 13th, when they play LaSalle.
And we talked about it. I think it's a good thing when you have a new team. You want to get them comfortable playing with each other before you have to take them on the road and face the competition in an unfamiliar environment. So I understand it. The Memphis game is going to be one for the ages. Either we're going to win, or it's going to be tough. Because Memphis was good.
Yeah.
Let's not fake the funk. And also, St. Bonaventure coming here first is going to be a really good game as well.
You know, Coach Schmidt always gets St. Bonaventure ready. Even if they have a down year, they'll be ready to play. Second half about to begin here at the Siegel Center, with Norfolk State leading 26-23. We'll have that for you coming up next on MASN.
Call 804-902-CASH.
Pick up the phone and call the Red Door guys to buy your home.
Happy holidays to you and yours from the Siegel Center, with Norfolk State leading 26-23 at the half over VCU. Sean Robinson, along with Ed Nixon, a member of the 2011 Final Four team, and our entire Ram Unlimited crew here. First day of December. Have we started our Christmas shopping yet?
No, I have not. And I'm going to go talk to the wife. Hey, let's go ahead and get all the family members outside the way, because we know our little girls will get everything.
Oh, you know that. And my little one has been asking for a particular toy. Batbots, I believe, is the name of the toy. He's been asking for that since basically Thanksgiving.
Batbots.
So,
is that like Transformers?
I think something like that, but if he's a good little boy, maybe Santa will take care of him for Christmas. We'll see. Starting lineups for both teams back on the floor to begin the second half. Christian Inge, who has 6 points, along with Thomas leading the way for the Spartans. Here is Thomas feeling the double. Shot clock's at 10 for the Spartans. Here is Inge maneuvering inside and scoring his 8 point.
Smooth move by Inge right there. Getting into the paint, one-footed floater.
And again, in the paint. That's been where their damage has taken place for Norfolk State, is in that paint, that free throw lane area. Here is Shoga doing the same thing with the left hand. He's got 9 to lead all scorers.
And the gates just opened up right there for Shoga.
3-point Norfolk State lead. 1 minute gone by in the second half. Mading against Kwani. Here is Darden finding Bladen and had it blocked by Furman. Out of bounds. It'll stay with Norfolk State with 7 to shoot.
Good recovery by Furman to help out Max after that screen. However, you still got to find a way to keep Norfolk State out of the paint. They're getting paint touches too frequently if you want to win this game.
Furman's played well here tonight. 4 points, 3 boards, a block so far. 7 to shoot for Norfolk. Here is Inge, guarded by Jackson with 1 to shoot. They don't recognize it. Now he just gets it off. And an air ball and a shot clock violation. Late setup there by Norfolk State on that shot. And it results in only their 2nd turnover of the game. Thomas steals it on the inbound. And finds Meding, who called for travel.
Just had to run to the corner store, get a pack of Starburst, some now laters.
So think about this. They had 1 turnover in the first half, and in almost 90 seconds of this half, they've committed 2. And now we got a whistle as Thomas is called for the foul, his 2nd.
And I tell you what, hopefully that was a wake-up call for Max Shoga, that you can't lackadaisical come to the ball, or Thomas is going to take it from you.
Yeah. He is one of the conference's best in steals. He is number 1, tied for 1st in the MEAC in total steals and steals per game. Norfolk just got another one.
Good hands.
And here's Thomas going down the lane, challenging Furman, and Furman gets called for the foul, his 1st of the game.
And watching film on Thomas, that's what he really enjoys doing, getting down with the trees, getting his body into theirs and trying to finish over the top, usually drawing a foul, which leads to usually 2 points.
He's got 2 more cracks at the line. He leads the conference in total free throws made and attempt this year. He came in 50 of 58 from the line, shooting at 86%. He's already 2 for 2 in this game. Has made another one. He's been an outstanding player this season for Coach Thomas, the transfer from UNC Wilmington. Conference's leading scorer at 18 points a night, made both to give him 8. A 5-point Norfolk State lead as we're coming up on 2 minutes gone by in the 2nd half. Sean Robertson, Ed Nixon with you here at the Siegel Center, our entire Rams Unlimited crew. Shoga found Jackson, and now we got a whistle away from the ball.
But just look at how Norfolk State is attacking Max Shoga when he comes off that screen. They're forcing him to go to the sideline, not allowing him to get downhill, which creates 2 men on 1, which is hard for him to pass out, and basically takes VCU out of their offensive set. Good adjustment by Coach Jones.
Alan Betran back in for Norfolk State to replace Inge. And here's Shoga. Had the ball go off of Jones's foot. Check it, Thomas's foot, I beg your pardon. 15 to shoot for VCU. Who will take the shot? Rams need a basket. Another turnover by VCU. Thomas with another steal. Here's Thomas down the lane and scores. Again in double figures. He has scored in double figures in every game this season, now with 10. And Norfolk State's up by 7. And Bladen draws a block.
And these active hands by Norfolk State are really coming in handy. Max has to do a better job securing the ball. He can't be lackadaisical. Can't be cool Max with the ball. They're going to take it. It's evident. Happened twice in this half.
You mentioned when they pick up the ball on the sideline, not only do they see the double team, but they use that sideline as a 3rd defender when they pick their dribble up. Jason Nelson back in for VCU. Kwani has it against Betran. Here's Jackson over Meding for 3. Long back tap to Nelson. Jackson drives. Ball deflected out by Norfolk State. It'll stay with VCU with 12 to shoot.
Good job by VCU getting on the boards, getting some second chance opportunities. Let's see if they can execute right here. Out of bounds play.
Jackson will inbound, and you see that length on Medine, the 6'11 junior from High Point, and then they got caught in the coffin corner. And was that a timeout or was that an out of bounds? There's going to be a timeout on VCU, and with that, we will take a timeout with Norfolk State on the road, leading by 7.
Line order.
Well, right now we need Ed Nixon to put on his jersey for VCU and see if he can hoist up some threes and knock them down, because VCU right now needs it as they trail 32-25. You got a three-point shot in you?
Catch and shoot.
Catch and shoot.
Catch and shoot. I got that in me. Only got 1 or 2 trips down the court, then sub me out. You got to be quick with the subs. Outside of that, I'm there for you.
We need maybe 90-second spurts and you're good to go. You mentioned the stats while we were during break. Three-point shooting for either team is right now is frigid.
Right. Norfolk State is able to have this lead right now because they're taking care of the ball, one, and they're putting the pressure on VCU, which is leading into turnovers, which is getting them downhill in transition.
Rams have 10 turnovers in the game. VCU has only forced 3 Norfolk State turnovers. 3 to shoot for the Rams. Bell for 3. That's an air ball and a shot clock violation. The 11th VCU turnover in this game, and that's the second after a media timeout.
Right.
In this half.
I wonder if that's coaching or execution. It's one or the other. Either the play that was drawn up wasn't the best, or they're not doing a good job of really thinking the game through. Because I know Norfolk State is in this zone, which can make it a little bit tricky. However, VCU has to be able to come away with something.
B-Tran turned it over, tried to find Blayton inside, and it went through his hands as Fats Billups re-enters the lineup.
Speaking of shooting.
Remember, his first shot was a 3 early in the game, and then he picked up 2 quick fouls and then had to sit. Rams have been held scoreless for almost 3 minutes as they trail by 7. Here's Nelson with a little stutter step to the wall. And now the double. Through the hands of Toby and saved by Darden of Norfolk State. Another VCU turnover.
They used to have a product back in the 90s called Stickum. I would recommend that to a couple of VCU players.
A lot of those football players in the 70s, speaking of those Raiders, that's all they used to wear on those gloves was Stickum. Thomas had his three-point shot blocked by Jackson. He looked back at Roger Ayers to see if there was a foul, didn't get it. And now a foul on the Norfolk State defensive end, and that's going to go against Darden. And that brings us to immediate timeout. 15:37 to go in the game, and Norfolk State with a 7-point lead.
Only at your local Ford dealer.
8 combined points in the second half scored by Norfolk State and VCU Spartans with a 7-point lead over the Rams, 32-25. Sean Robertson, Ed Nixon, member of the 2011 Final Four team, and our entire Ram Unlimited crew. We had a chance to talk to Coach Jones this week, and he liked the fact that this series has resumed. It's taken a quarter of a century for it to resume. And he was just kind of curious as to, why now? He mentioned that to us a couple of times, and he was saying that was something he was going to tell his guys. Like,
Absolutely.
There's a reason why they called you up to play this year, and we got to show them why.
Yep. You got to like the confidence.
7-point lead on the road against VCU, coming off that win Sunday against Penn State in the ESPN Invitational. Here is Nelson. And they get a foul. Roger Ayers on the baseline gets the foul.
And that's what you have to do for VCU. Your threes aren't falling. You have to find a way to create lanes to the basket. And when you get in there, go up strong and put the pressure on the rim, put the pressure on the referees to make the call. Get to the line, which will open up the defense eventually. but you have to stay patient. You have to stay aggressive.
Jason Nelson back in the lineup tonight. He missed Sunday's game against Penn State with a sprained thumb. He has a wrap on that right thumb. He was able to practice this week and got the green light to play tonight. One of several former Varina players on the floor. He started his high school career at Varina before going to John Marshall. Played with Jenkins and also Fats. Jenkins is at Norfolk State, and Fats is teammate here at VCU.
And also played with Wheeler.
At John Marshall,
At John Marshall.
And team loaded. Strong AAU program here in Richmond. Betran goes down the lane, and he gets a foul. And that'll go against Nelson. His first, only the Rams' second in this half, but Betran will get an opportunity at the line.
What VCU really struggles to do when they have movement on the backside offensively as a defensive team, they have a habit of losing track of where the ball is. Focus on where their man is and not where the ball is. Your man can't score. The ball scores. And that was an example of it. Late recovery led to a foul. Betran walks to the line, knocks the first one down.
He's 4 of 5 from the line tonight, has 6 points, and that was something that Coach Odom mentioned this week during his media availability. He wants his guys to stay in the moment, be in the moment. 2 free throws made by Betran now with 7. This is the Spartans' largest lead of the game at 8.
And it's started with their defense. They've been stifling. VCU hasn't been able to get anything going on the offensive end.
VCU with 2 points scored here in this half. Here is Jackson trying to create, and he'll go to the line.
Again, patience and aggression. Let the offense run. The paint opened up. Zeb Jackson did a great job of attacking the paint.
So that's a big foul against Norfolk State. That is their 6th team foul. Last one to give for the final 14-46. So the rest of the game, any foul against the Spartans, VCU is going to shoot 2 free throws. Or at least a 1-and-1, check it.
And that's where VCU has to find their way back into this game. Being aggressive, putting the pressure on the State to play defense without fouling. And that kind of goes against their MO. They're a very physical and aggressive team. If they get into foul trouble early, that's going to let VCU slowly but surely climb their way back into the game.
And that has been a strength for the Rams this season. They're amongst the nation's best from the line, 78% as a team. That was 32nd in the country coming into tonight. Spartans up by 6. Nice feed inside to Bladen with the finish.
Again, nobody on the help side. Their man is all the way in the corner, and nobody on the help side to protect the rim.
Thomas's second assist of the night. Jackson trying to create. Caught in traffic. Here's Thomas in the lane. Bladen got it back for Norfolk State. And then we'll shoot a baseline jumper. Lawal the long rebound. Stripped away. Shulga gets it back for 3. Thomas corrals the board.
I would have loved for Bills to just go up with that layup. Get the 2 points. I understand Max was there, but I guess he didn't realize where he was on the court.
VCU 3 of 16 from 3 tonight. Shulga 1 of 7 from behind the arc. Going with the alley-oop to Betran.
And look at that. Just no help defense. No pressure on the ball. Of course, Thomas is a quick guard, so you got to give him some type of space. No help on the back screen. Toby Lawal is stuck to his man. Doesn't see what's going on. Easy dunk.
10-point Spartan lead. And Odom is going to play this out here instead of calling the timeout. Here's Nelson into the lane. Lawal's tip is no good. Lawal gets his own miss and is tied up with Darden. The arrow stays with VCU.
Way to fight for the ball. Way to fight for the ball by both teams. And Darden is just a dog down there.
Coach Jones, what did he say? He said he's 6'5", but not athletic.
Right.
But he just goes after rebounds.
That's a talent that's not really spoken about. Having a knack for the ball, just knowing where the ball is or where it will be.
He certainly has that. Second in the MEAC in rebounds per game. First in total rebounds this year. Nelson left open for three.
And the VCU fans are elated to finally see one go through the cup.
Nelson's 10th made three this year has pulled the Rams to within 7. Thomas's floater is good. As they come right back with the answer, Thomas now with a dozen. And we heard Thomas say, I promise you I got you. He talks the swagger and backs it up on the court.
You got to love the competitiveness.
Lead back to 9 for Norfolk State. Here is Bell. Back to Nelson for 3. Two in a row.
Big threes by Nelson. Great ball move by VCU. Find the open man.
Nelson now with 7.
Now, can VCU get a stop? Can they get a steal? Can they get in transition? Can they get that extra spark to really ignite this home crowd?
Betran amongst 3 Rams gets it to go, and Coach Jones calls a timeout. How about Allen Betran now with 13? As we take a timeout on the floor, and Norfolk State with an 8-point lead.
I was taking that extra dribble, really drawing in the defense, taking out and making it a wide open shot for Nelson. He stepped into it and knocked it down. But VCU has to do something with the points in the paint. Norfolk State is coming into their home, just like Brumman from the 5th floor, making a sandwich.
Could use a sandwich right about now. Assist of the game presented by the Virginia Credit Union as Michael Bell's shot is waved off as he's called for a travel. VCU's 14th turnover of the night. Norfolk State just 4 against VCU. And now Norfolk State couldn't get it inbound. Had to use a timeout. Coach Jones hot about that he had to use that timeout. That leaves him, I think, with 1 left.
He is not happy. However, that was a great call by Coach Odom to bring that in there and have them do that, which caught Norfolk State off guard, causing them a timeout, which they may need.
They have 1 left in the final 11:25. VCU has 2 timeouts remaining in the game, and like you said, that could come back and be very, very crucial for Norfolk State. Start of an 8-game homestand here for VCU. As we mentioned, the big one next Wednesday, the Memphis Tigers come to the stew at 7 o'clock. We get to see Penny Hardaway and that talented group here to the Siegel Center. That's the second of the home-and-home series. VCU made the trip to the FedEx Forum last year. And then after that, Alcorn State will come here a week from Sunday. And now a turnover off the inbound. Daryl Anderson, a native from this area, North Chesterfield, with problems on the inbound, and VCU gets it back down by 8.
And VCU looking like VCU of old right there in the press, causing the turnover.
Awful lot of time left in this game. VCU, though, down by 8. Shoga with a step back 3, ring it up.
And you just knew that one of them was going to fall. Shooters keep shooting. Shoga keeps shooting.
His second made 3 in this game. He's pulled the Rams to within 5. Offensive rebound by Darden. And now another travel is called on Norfolk State.
And here's where Norfolk State is going to have to come together as a team and calm this down. Because if VCU scores here, understand the crowd will go crazy. Don't let it be a 3.
Hey, you got 3-point shooters on the floor. Shoga, who made his last one. He's Got 12 so far in the game. Thomas hounding Sugar for 3. Long rebound picked up by Norfolk State. That would have blew the roof off here.
Blew the roof off. Big possession here for VCU. And I want the fans at home to know how much trust Coach Odom has in Michael Bell. Michael Bell has been assigned the toughest assignment out there. Good move.
Betran was short. Long rebound chased down by Nelson.
Speed.
Against Betran, and Betran goes up the block. Up ahead is Muding, and he slams it home.
Great recovery right there by Betran. Great hustle by Jason Nelson. Better defense.
Big momentum swing there. Betran with the block on one end and take away 2. And then Norfolk State gets 2 on the other end. Here's Billups for 3. Got an offensive rebound by Furman, and he draws a foul.
Ooh, the intensity in this game is crazy.
Madeng is called for the foul. His second, remember, that is the 17th foul on Norfolk State. So a 1-and-1 for Christian Furman and VCU. They will be shooting free throws the rest of the game.
Big free throws for Furman here. You don't want to miss the front end of this 1-and-1.
Yeah, Billups tried to sneak to the line to shoot the free throws, but it is Furman that will get the attempt.
You don't want to miss the front end of this 1-and-1 and then come down to give up a point. That will put you in a big hole that you don't want to be.
7-point Spartans lead. Furman made his first 2 in the half. And missed the front end.
VCU has to get a stop here.
Thomas leading the way for Norfolk State with 12. Thomas hits the floor. Scooped up by Chambers, who gets his own miss. Chambers again. High off the window. Furman clears. Coming up on 9 minutes left in the game, and VCU down 7. Shoga for 3.
Ooh, rims out.
Betran their miss.
Good look. Great look. Great offense. You get one of your leading three-point shooters an open shot. You got to live with that.
Inside 9 minutes to go. Shoga 2 of 10 from 3 in the game. Thomas with a nice look to Darden. Darden with 7. 5 assists now for Thomas in the game, and it's a 9-point Spartans lead. Nelson with 2 made threes in this half, now with 5 to shoot. Here's Nelson creating. And a late whistle.
Picks up the foul.
And Coach Jones did a 2-step on the sideline after that whistle.
And, you know, that's a tough shot. Bail out with the foul. However, if you're VCU, you don't want to get yourself in these situations where you're draining all the clock out. You want to be aggressive. You want to get clean rebounds and push the pace. You're down 9 right now with 8 minutes left to go. You want to get this thing cut down at least halfway within the next minute or 2. Of course, you got more time than that. However, you don't want to give Norfolk State any more confidence than they already have.
Nelson has scored 6 of his 7 in this half. He's got 2 opportunities at the stripe, and it got all of the rim before finally going down. Jackson and Lawal will give Bell and Sugar a break. And Christian Inge back in for NSU. Spartans coming off of their 34-point win over William and Mary earlier this week, as Nelson made 1 of 2. Chambers throwing elbows, and they're going to get a foul on Toby.
That is a tough call on Toby Lawal. Chambers was swinging freely.
Now I'm very surprised somebody from VCU has not asked the officials to go to the replay monitor to check that play on Chambers throwing elbows.
Absolutely.
Those elbows were high. Toby got called for the foul, his first, only the 13th foul in the half for VCU. Inge running the point against Jason Nelson, both with 8 points in the game. And in this possession, Thomas has taken a seat for Norfolk State. Betran a long two and drains it.
And that's what he can do. That's what he can do. Again, I'm surprised VCU hasn't changed their coverage on the screens. The screen and roll action has been giving VCU trouble the whole game, whether that means getting into the paint, creating.
And Billups stepped out of bounds. And with that, that brings us to a timeout. 7:24 left. And Norfolk State with a 10-point lead over VCU.
Ford dealer.
There's a good look at the VCU huddle as they trail 48-38 to Norfolk State. Sean Robertson, Ed Nixon, a member of the 2011 Final Four team. We were talking about the key stat in this game that has been basically the deciding factor. Points in the paint, 34-12 in favor of Norfolk State. What does VCU have to do differently defensively to limit that the rest of the game?
Well, you got to muck it up. You know, you're letting them run their sets. What you want to do, you want to take them out of that pick. They love to run that high pick and roll. Take them out of that. Put the ball in someone's hands who doesn't know how to create the scramble and fix it from there. At least try it to see how they respond to that. The same coverage led to the same results.
Thomas remains on the bench for Norfolk State. Inge running the point for Coach Jones and the Spartans. Under 10 to shoot. Chambers to Jenkins. Betran for three. Halfway down. Lawal clears for VCU, trying to get anything offensively on this possession.
Now, they made the scramble initially. Zeb Jackson has to make that second effort to get over there. Not worry about his man. Somebody else has to get his man. Trust your teammates.
Here's Max for three. Furman, an offensive rebound. The jump hook finds two. Christian Furman, his second field goal attempt, he scores his 6th point along with 5 boards, and it's an 8-point Spartans lead. Here is Inge going down the lane and challenging Furman for two. He's now in double figures with 10, surpassing his season average, and is back to a 10-point Spartans lead.
Great attack right there, finishing over the big man.
Nelson. Jackson with a good head fake on Darden. And Darden comes up with a deflection and is off of Zeb Jackson's knee out of bounds. 16 turnovers for VCU tonight. And Thomas will come back in to give Betran a breather. So for the first time, I believe, tonight, Inge and Thomas both on the floor at the same time.
And we talked about that earlier in the game. You usually don't see that. However, they want to get the ball handlers out there. They want to protect this lead.
Yeah, assistant coach Matt Henry told us before the game, it's not often you see Inge and Thomas on the floor at the same time, but in this possession, they're on the floor together for Norfolk State. Up 10. Thomas with the draw against Bell. Nice feed inside the Chambers and out of bounds. It'll stay with Norfolk State.
Great recovery by Michael Bell, saving the layup right there.
Thomas with another nice feed.
But again, in the paint, living in the paint.
Now the game against William & Mary had 23 points. He had a career-high 9 assists in that game. And Coach Thomas said he was more impressed with the 9 assists than the 23 points in that win. Thomas had it partially blocked on the three-point attempt. VCU has numbers. Nelson with the lob to Toby, and Toby finishes. He's got 4, and the lead's down to 8 as we're inside money time.
Heads up play by Jason Nelson, throwing it only where Toby Lawal can get it.
Which is anywhere, basically.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the air. 42 points for VCU here in the game. Under 10 to shoot for Darden and Norfolk State. Another nice feed to Chambers for the slam.
Again, living in the paint. What are you doing on that screen? Are we switching? Are we hedging? No communication. Led to the assist.
Isaiah Chambers with 4 tonight. And the lead at 10 as we're coming up on 4 minutes left. And the pass stolen by Thomas.
That was DB light.
And had it blocked but fouled. And Thomas said a word or two to Max after that play. Bell is called for the foul, his first. Only the 4th team foul for VCU. But Jamari Thomas going to be spoken to by Roger Ayers, probably to say that, calm it down a little bit, because
it's getting a little chippy
it's
out there.
It's getting chippy, no question. And Norfolk State has that swagger, and that was another thing that Thomas had emphasized with his team. We're going to come in with some swagger. You said you saw that during the Wichita State game that you saw.
Absolutely. They played with an aggression. They played with a toughness. They played with the confidence that they belong here, no matter where they are. And it's really showing proof tonight.
Another made free throw by Thomas, now with 14 on the night, along with 5 assists and 3 steals. Largest Spartan lead tonight, 12, as we're inside 4 minutes. Jenkins has the assignment on Shoga. Jackson left open for 3. Ring it up.
Well needed by VCU.
He's in double figures with 10. It's a 9-point lead. It's 3 possessions with 3.5 to go. Still a lot of time for VCU.
But they have to shore up some things on the defensive end. Keep Norfolk State out of the paint, get the rebound, and try to get in transition.
Betran had to go off his foot. That's a backcourt violation.
That's what the doctor ordered.
And a timeout on the floor. 3:16 left in regulation. Can the Rams make another comeback as they trail by 9? Final 3:14 left in regulation. Norfolk State with a 9-point lead over VCU. Still a lot of time left at Nixon.
Absolutely. There's a lot of time, but it's going to come down to executing and doing the things that are important to winning. For VCU, they have to run good offense, get quick shots, but great shots. And then on the defensive end, they have to clog that paint and get clean defensive rebounds so they can get out in transition. Norfolk State just needs to take care of the ball and continue to do what they're doing on the offensive end.
Shoga, Jackson, Nelson, Bell, and also Furman. Jackson for 3. Ring it up. Back-to-back threes for Zeb, who now has 13 to lead the Rams. And it's a 6-point or 2-possession lead.
How about the gutsiness from Zeb Jackson stepping into that with confidence and knocking it down?
Here is Thomas into the paint. Bell the rebound.
Got bailed out right there, but still was in the paint.
Down by 6.
No need for a heat check, but he's going to shoot it.
Missed it that time.
No need for the heat check. Run good offense. I know you just knocked 2 down. Run good offense. They're going to be playing you extra close. You'll be at a hesitation, cross, get to the rim, create something for yourself and for your teammates. You didn't need to take that shot.
The Siegel Center probably at one time at its loudest when Zeb hit that second 3. Not a chant of defense against Norfolk State with under 10 to shoot. Ball knocked out by Sugar. It'll stay with Norfolk with 2 to shoot, and they will go to the replay monitor to check that out.
We shall see.
The initial call was that it was off of Max, and it will be in possession of Norfolk State. And that's Roger Ayers over there, along with Clarence Armstrong.
And I tell you what, whether or not they get the ball back or not, VCU still hasn't really resolved the paint touch situation. You missed the layup right there. He's in the paint. Hit it off his knee. You have to figure out a way to call the paint. What are we doing on the screen? I know when I was playing, I know I'm ancient now, but if there's a screen, we're going to give you one way to go. We're going to give you one way to go, whether we're icing it and we're sending you the other way, or in the defense is loaded up that direction, or we're going to force you into the screen where you don't have the option to reject it. But right now, VCU has no idea what they're doing on the screens. I don't know how many times I've seen a pick at the top of the key where there's no communication leading to a penetrating drive by Nova State, which led to points.
Thomas will handle the inbound with 2 to shoot. Betran. There was contact, no whistle. VCU gets the rebound, and then we get a foul on Norfolk State.
If you're VCU, do you want that foul right there? Would you prefer that foul?
I would say yes, because if you hit these free throws, you're doing it without the time coming off the clock.
Absolutely.
It's the 9th team foul on Norfolk State, so Michael Bell is at the line for the front end of a 1-and-1.
And VCU did not do a good job of really pressing the issue on getting. They had 8 or 7 fouls with 11 minutes left. You got to push the issue. You got to force the issue there to get to the free throw line early, especially when you're struggling from the offense side of the ball.
Missed the second. Jackson an offensive rebound and another whistle. It'll go against the Spartans, and that is Chambers guilty of the foul. That is the 10th team foul now on Norfolk State. So 2 free throws, the final minute 53 for VCU. The Rams in the midst of a 7-0 run, and now 2 more opportunities at the stripe. It's Zeb Jackson that will get the attempts.
Zeb Jackson is hitting big shots down the stretch for VCU.
And he is a great free throw shooter this season. 85% from the line. Makes both. He's got 15, and it's a 3-point game.
Now, can VCU get a stop? It's very important. You're back in the game now.
Crowd on their feet. Norfolk State's got the right man with the ball. Under 10 to shoot. Jenkins. Thomas. Hits the 3.
There you go. And if you're Christian Furman, what are you doing? It's 1 second on the shot clock. Make him do something else.
What a big shot by Jamari Thomas now with 17. The lead back to 6 with a minute to go. Nelson inside to Furman, who scores. And Coach Odom will use a timeout.
You have to be aware of the shot clock, whether you're a defensive player or an offensive player. Great defense by VCU right there. For Christian Furman, why are you backing up? What? He was on his heels as if he was going to drive. If he drives, so be it. Let's see your one-footed floater from the three-point line. But when you back up and you give the man a catch-and-shoot 3, what do you expect he's going to do? But great job by Thomas for stepping in with confidence and knocking it down and letting the crowd know about it.
Big-time players make big-time plays. And with the shot clock winding down, Thomas was fearless. against Christian Furman and hit that three. Now what do you do here if you're VCU? You got a minute left. Each team with one timeout. And again, the key number, Norfolk State is in the double bonus. They are past the 10-foul limit. So
if I'm VCU, I'm playing ultra-aggressive defense. Not to the point where I'm getting myself out of position, but I'm playing ultra-aggressive defense. We only have 4 fouls in this half, which allows us to play aggressive without having the consequences of them going to the free throw line. I'm playing ultra-aggressive, trying to get an early turnover, make this a one-point possession before we get down to the 30-second mark.
VCU got 2 foul to give. Betran on the other end, who finishes.
How does that happen? How does that happen?
Betran with 15, looking like a wide receiver. Max draws a foul on his way to the basket. And now Clarence Armstrong is talking to Tyrese Jenkins about that last call.
If you are VCU, how do you let that happen? Just like, how do you give up that free right there? It's just the little things, and the little things will cost you games. And VCU is a learning team, and they are learning the hard way throughout this whole season about executing the small things.
Shoga hits the first free throw now with 13. So it's back down to 5. Still 2 possessions, even with this mate.
Big free throws by Max.
He's got 15. Check it, 14 rather. Full court press and immediate foul on Zeb. That was only the Rams' 5th, so Norfolk State will have to inbound again.
However, you want to keep the ball out of Thomas's hands when it's time to foul for free throws because he has been lights out from the free throw line this season.
6 of 6 tonight. Before tonight, he was 50 of 58. Thomas has drawn the ire of some fans here behind us. And he gets the inbound. And now another foul. VCU's bench thinks otherwise. Zeb did too because that was called on him. And that's his second. That's only the 16th foul. That's not a shooting foul. That last foul to give, though, for the Rams defensively.
As Thomas gives a wink to the crowd. Definitely a bang-bang play, but I think he initiated the contact. The refs have to call something. It looked like an offensive play. Great play by Thomas.
The junior from Greensboro, North Carolina. So they burned their last 2 to give, and now you do everything in your power, right, Ed, to avoid Thomas getting the ball here.
I mean, if you're not going to foul, okay. If you are going to foul,
that would be the guy to foul right there, but they didn't. Thomas is not giving that up. And now it's out of bounds to Norfolk.
I would look at that one.
Will they review it? That's the question. No signal yet.
I would look at that one. That was pretty close.
I think they are now going to go to the replay monitor.
You might have got away with a bump. Didn't call the foul, but it looked like it was out.
Well, our monitor just went out, but it looked like after he slipped and gathered himself that it kind of grazed his jersey.
I can't see. Can we get the replay one more time?
Hopefully those in the truck can hear us and get that replay back up to see whether or not it did graze Thomas's jersey on that possession. Roger Ayers and Tony Henderson over there at the replay monitor to check it out.
Oh, that's definitely off. Unless Nelson hit the ball.
Unless he hit it last, but I thought it went off of
It definitely looks off Thomas.
So Roger Ayers is right there to get the replay that we saw as well. But this is a huge call.
This is a very huge call.
Because if it stays with Norfolk, they can really run this down till about 12,
And if it's
12 seconds because there's a 10-second differential between shot clock and game clock.
Well, I imagine VCU would definitely take the foul at this point in time.
Roger Ayers said it will stay. It will stay with Norfolk State.
Wow. Did you see that? You saw it staying with Norfolk?
I thought it went off of Thomas's jersey, but like you said, unless that happened and then it went off of Nelson. But now you have to foul if you're VCU.
Be ultra aggressive. And VCU, listen, VCU has to find a way to make up for the mistakes in 26 seconds.
Betran receives the inbound, is immediately fouled by Shoga from the line tonight. The team collectively, the only two men to shoot free throws tonight, Thomas and Betran. They are combined 11 of 12 from the stripe.
So my question is, how could you let either one of them grab the ball? You know what I mean? There's been a lot of things that leave me scratching my head about VCU's game plan tonight, or just their execution. I can't say game plan. I don't know what the game plan was. But their execution was just not up to par tonight. And Norfolk State has made them pay for every mistake they made.
1-1. First one good by Alan Betran, now with 16. He has 16. Thomas leads Norfolk State with 17. Inge has 10. So they have 43 of the 60. And Betran hits both. Two huge free throws by Norfolk State to push the lead to 6. Jackson with a long three. Bell had the rebound and is quickly fouled as he hit the floor hard. It looked like Darden is going to be called. So Bell gets up, looks like he's okay, and 2 free throws will go to Mike with 14.2 seconds to go.
However, this is going to take a miracle for VCU to win this game. Now, I know God has answered prayers before. I'm not sure if he's on the line tonight.
Bell is 1 of 2 from the stripe. He's got a career-high 10 rebounds in the game. So in back-to-back games for Michael, he has achieved career-high in rebounds. He had 9 against Penn State, 10 tonight against Norfolk State. Coach Ryan Odom brings in size with Christian Furman to replace Nelson. So this is their really big lineup. Bell, Furman, Lawal, Shoga, and Jackson. Bell hits both. Fats Billups now in, and he's going to replace Shoga. Nope, he's going to replace Furman.
Smart.
So 2-possession game, 61-57. Roger Ayers went to the scores table for something. Don't have an idea what it is, but it looks like everything is in order. 4-point lead, 14.2 seconds to go. Norfolk State is still in the 1-1, and you got to foul Inge, which you did. And speaking of Bell, his second. And these will be Inge's first attempt at the line. He's got a 1-1 here with 12 seconds remaining.
And that's the guy you want to foul, somebody who hasn't been to the line in a pressure situation. See what he can do. You don't want to get Thomas on line. He's proven to be clutch. B-Tran has been clutch tonight as well.
Inge, who is nicknamed Agent Zero by his teammates, shoots 85% this season from the stripe.
Well, there goes my theory.
Drained it. The team is third best in the MEAC in free throw shooting at 73%. Tonight, 14 of 15.
Great job. Great job by Norfolk State.
Made the second, got the home bounce to push it back to a 6-point lead. And a foul is called on Norfolk State on Nelson's attempt. And they're going to get Darden. Now, Inge and Coach Jones are asking for a review.
Over a foul?
I believe so.
I don't think they can do that. Can they?
Well, Armstrong is going to the replay monitor.
I mean, usually they check to see if it was a 3.
Yeah, the fans behind us were saying that was a 3-shot foul. And it is a 3-shot foul. The crowd was asking for it, and I guess Armstrong noticed it on the replay and gives VCU a 3-shot foul. Nelson will shoot the triple here at the stripe.
You want to, if you're VCU, do you want to miss the last one? You got to make the first 2.
He makes the first. I think you got to make all 3 here. One down. It's a 5-point game. If he makes all 3, it's a 1-possession lead with 7 seconds to go, and VCU still are in the single bonus in fouls. Now, let's put you in the player's perspective. Do you intentionally miss here if you're Nelson?
I mean, you can't advance. You can't advance the ball if they go down, shoot free throws. So I would think, yes, I would put Toby Lawal in the game to offensive rebound.
And they just took him out. So let's see what Nelson does. This is the big one. The third free throw attempt. Made it. And now Lawal back in.
Now face guard to try to get a steal. I do understand that. But you could put your big. Nova State had all guards in at this point in time. Put your bigs in, miss the one on purpose, and see what you can get.
The inbound to Inge real quick. The Bell draws the foul with 6.2 to go. That is the 9th team foul on VCU. So still a 1-and-1.
However, he knocks this down. He ices the game. With the inability to advance the ball, it's going to take at least 3 seconds off the clock to get it over, and then to get a good shot. More than likely, he can ice the game right here with the make.
His last trip he made 2 consecutive. He's got 12 to pass his average. I mentioned before then it was an 85% shooter from the line. He's short. And a timeout by VCU.
Now things can get really interesting here. Guy might be getting at me for questioning.
I was going to say. He's saying you're naughty. He probably talked to Santa and said, you're a naughty boy, Ed Mixon.
I got a pen on my wife to buy me gifts. Santa ain't going to give me nothing.
Now with 5.2 seconds to go, obviously VCU's got to attempt a 3. If you're Coach Jones now, you're already over the double bonus limit.
Yeah.
You're probably thinking they don't even get an attempt of a 3.
Right. And the play I'm probably trying to draw up right now is somewhere I can throw it to Toby Lawal, middle of the court, and him pass it off to someone for a catch and shoot opportunity. Usually you can get a pretty good look at that, but however, Toby Lawal, I won't say he's the best passer, and to put him in that position with that much pressure, being that he's basically a freshman this year, it's going to be tough.
That was VCU's last timeout.
And the reason I say Toby Lawal because, of course, he has to take it to the upper room.
Of course. Toby Wan Kenobi, correct?
Toby Wan Kenobi. However, Toby is not in the game. So scratch that.
Yeah, it doesn't appear that way. I think on the last inbound, it was going to be Fats coming in to give them another 3-point shooter.
How would you feel about overtime?
I could deal with overtime. I think our fans can enjoy another 5 minutes because this second half actually turned out to be better down the stretch.
Absolutely.
It was a struggle offensively for VCU.
For basically majority of the game now.
But they got hot late. Jason Nelson hit some threes. Zeb Jackson hit some threes. and the defense picked it up a little bit and made this interesting because at one point Norfolk State was up 12 in this half.
Absolutely. But see, this is the thing. You can't wait until you're down 12 and in desperation to start playing with all you have.
All right, here's what we're going to do. Zeb Jackson gets it to Sugar in the corner. Oh! And Norfolk State comes up I-64 and will leave with a 63-60 win. And Thomas is waving to the crowd here at the Siegel Center. It was sold out, and Norfolk State gets their second win in a row to improve to 6-3 with a 63-60 win over VCU. We'll come back and wrap it up here on MASN and on ESPN+.
VCU Rams and choose Renewal by Anderson of Central Virginia for your home team today.
Norfolk State comes to the Siegel Center and leaves with a 63-60 win over VCU. Norfolk State now 6-3 on the year. They've won their second in a row. VCU falls to 4-4 before that date with Memphis coming up Wednesday here at the Stew. We'll look at our final particulars, and Jamari Thomas, Alan Betran combining for 34 of the 63 Norfolk State points tonight.
Absolutely. They did a really good job of being aggressive. Thomas did a really good job of living in the paint. He hit 1 3, and I think that might have been one of 2 threes they hit all night. And it was just they made VCU pay every time they made a mistake. Hats off to Norfolk State for coming into the VCU Stewart Siegel Center and taking care of business.
Outscored VCU in the paint 40-18. VCU was led by Zeb Jackson, who had 15 points. He had 3 threes in the game. Max Sugar had 14. Jason Nelson off the bench with 11 as he played nearly 28 minutes in his first game back after missing the Penn State game on Sunday due to a sprained thumb. So VCU 4-4. They got Memphis coming up on Wednesday. Norfolk State now 6-3, and then they travel to Illinois State. That's a tough one. That's a good mid-major as well. So their road trip continues, but they're leaving here with a big victory. 25 years in the making. The last meeting was 25 years ago, and Norfolk State comes away with a win.
And I would say, I would play them again next year. Norfolk State is a really good team. They're well coached, and they came in here and took some of your candy. I don't know about you, but I would want my lick back. However, we'll see how it goes. VCU definitely has some holes there they need to plug, and they need to plug them fast because Memphis on Wednesday is going to really come in here and try to put their foot on the neck.
Pick to finish second in the MEAC. I would watch out for Norfolk State this season in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. Always great to work with you, Ed. Thanks to our entire Rams Unlimited crew. Once again, the final from the Siegel Center, 63-60, Norfolk State with the win. Be back here next Wednesday when Memphis comes to town. Until then, I'm Sean Robertson saying good night from the Siegel Center.
Financial success